If I had and started all over again with 1,000 followers and I had to start selling, this is the exact sales process that I would use. And it's exactly what I used last year, December, before we started selling in the DMs that closed, I think, $94,000 in revenue. Because I do not suggest 99% of people that come into our program to sell in the DMs. It's a misconception. So I just want to put that out there. A lot of people say, I'm scared. I don't think I can sell to my people in WhatsApp. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm going to tell you to have calls. So by now, you probably read the post. So we're up to number 6. So at this point, I'm just going to use, this is one that I used in our program when I was explaining our sell by chat process, but we use a very, very similar process as what I'm walking through here. It's just I'm suggesting you do this on sales meetings. So let's say when we go back to the actual post itself, let's go back here. We're up to the point where it's like after meeting number 1. Now, I'm going to explain to you why you need to have a 2-step sales process always. And it's a really big issue that people do. And all you got to do is add in one more stage. We need to look at the time plus value equation. So I'm going to take my time in explaining this because it's very, very valuable. When you first meet someone, they always start as a stranger. And over time, somebody becomes a trusted advisor. Like, someone super trustworthy, like my partner, my parents, my friends, complete trust in me, right? What content does during all this, and what your DMs do, is that they create, when you DM people and you create content of value, what it does is it helps people move along this trust spectrum, essentially. So it's like a magnet, it pulls them across here. This is why content is so important and why DMing people and building these relationships tactically is really important, because the two things that create trust are time and value. You just can't replace time. You've got your old school friends that you're friends with. Having that time with them just creates trust, and then obviously value as well. If you give somebody value, they have trust for you as well. Because when somebody is closer to being a trusted advisor, there's a higher percentage chance that they're actually going to buy. So the reason why we want this 2-step sales process and this pre-qualification and everything, the main purpose is to get somebody to trust you, to think you're a good fit. Because if a random comes up to you and says, hey, do you want to buy my thing? You're like, no, you're a random. I don't even know you. But it's the perfect thing. I know it is. I've seen you. Yeah, but I don't trust you yet. I got no fucking idea. So if you look up here in the sales process, right, let's say your content starts warming someone up. You start the chat, which is the pre-qualification. You let somebody vent and you qualify them. You're taking them from here to here on the trust spectrum, which is good. And this happens over time, right? This can happen 2 weeks up to 6 months. One time I closed the deal after 2.5 years after chasing a dude. And then after that, what you want to do is you want to have the first chat. So we call it a first DM chat. Yours is going to be a first sales call where you're going to use Sybil, do it on Zoom. Fuck Teams, it's the worst thing ever. I wish it was never in existence. So use Teams, use Zoom, use Sybil on there, and do your pre-meeting research to work them out. I've got that in the post already. Then the first chat, all you want to do is make sure that they're the right fit. And the trick here is you may know that they're the perfect fit, but they don't know yet. So the reason you ask them questions is to let them decide and let them understand that they're the good fit for you. And even in this chat, if they say no, it's not a good fit, that's okay, because they just keep getting warmed up with your content. And if it's not the right time, they don't have budget, it's okay. You don't want to burn the bridge. Your content and your DMs are going to keep warming them up. Like I had someone who messaged me on last Saturday and they told me a month ago, no, it's not for me now. They messaged me, hey, I want to buy now. Cool, because we formed this establishment in the DMs and the actual chat. So after this first chat, you're obviously going to send the Sybil follow-up email. Use Sybil, it's the best AI meeting recording tool. I've used them all. This shit and the other founders, they're legends. You want to send the follow-up email. You want to record a Loom as well, summarizing the call. It's going to be the best damn follow-up they've ever done. And you make sure to book a meeting on the meeting. And then in the second meeting, this is where you can present your solution and the custom solution that you're going to present to someone. And remember down here, this person is already here because you're not like the typical salesperson. You haven't asked for their money up here like these idiots do, right? Especially when you get those pitch slap DMs. And it also infuriates me as well that there's companies out there that charge people $2,500 for lead generation per month when all they do is plug in their LinkedIn automation and just send some template messages. Like, what the fuck? Where you close the deals is in the conversation and in the actual sales process. And so lead generation is great, opening chats, but if you haven't had chats, you're just going to fall flat in your face. That's why I don't recommend automation tools unless you're like super duper experienced. Like I don't use any, like a lot of people I don't suggest to. Some use cases, yeah, it has its purpose, but You know what I mean? That's where I'm not going to get into that rabbit hole. But on the second DM chat, that's where you propose the solution. That's where you say, let's buy. If you're selling something super duper expensive as well, more than 10K, you're going to need more than 2 meetings. You're going to need a lot of meetings. You're going to multi-thread. And I'm not going to get into this in the post because everyone's going to be like, I sell enterprise software. I can't do this thing because it's different. Of course, it's fucking different. You're going to have a lot of meetings, a lot of fucking emails. It's going to take you 6 months. This is for people selling stuff that's between, say, the 1 to 5 to 10K range. But the basic premise here is the same. You need to build trust with all these people. Now, the reason why it doesn't work in enterprise cases, right, is because there might be 3 people involved in the decision. One person might be bought in, but all these other fucking people are always down here. So you got to convince these people too, which takes time and value as well. So like it's the exact same principles apply. I've just heard a lot of people say this and I'm like, it's the same fucking thing. It's just different principles. So what you want to do is have a first meeting, Zoom meeting, not Teams. You want to have a second meeting on there as well. And that's when you can present, hey, do you want to work together? And by this time, you don't even have to say, do you want to work together? At the end of the call, just say to someone, where do you think we should go from here? Just stop talking. It's like one of the easiest things to do. So having this 2-step sales process, and by this time, if they're still not convinced and they don't think it's great, that's okay. You move to the next one, and that's totally fine. Anyway, this is the exact process I'd use if I had less than 1,000 followers and I had to try to sell. And I'm not going to tell you to try to sell on WhatsApp. It's really fucking hard. I've experienced it. It took me 3 months to work it out, but this is the process that you want to use. And so I hope you got value. I'm going to be posting more stuff about this as well. And if you're a creator that needs help and you want to jump in a program that teaches you how to sell without being salesy and also teaches you how to build a sustainable business model that you can actually grow with yourself, reach out. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed the value. Have an epic day.